Welcome back, everybody. This is Primetime Action Sports. We're finally here. The Super Bowl. 2 teams left, only one winner. Who would have thought this matchup going into the season would have been the Rams versus the Bengals? The Rams hosting the Super Bowl in SoFi Stadium. Back-to-back years of hosting the Super Bowl. Slater, this is going to be an epic game. Maybe not one we all projected to be going into the season. But what are your thoughts? What's going on in the sports world you want to talk about? I know there's a lot on our mind right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, this game right here, it's a game that I didn't expect at the beginning of the season, especially the Bengals. But the Rams, I mean, they could have been up there. But
where's your Cooper Kupp jersey?
I'll get into that later. But yeah, who would have thought? But honestly, I couldn't be more excited, to be honest. Like, I'm not that bummed. You know, I don't have someone to hate in the Super Bowl, you know, someone to root against for. I'm just looking forward to seeing both these teams play. That's
very true, actually. It's like one of these sides, like usually you have that juggernaut there. Like, damn, I just want them to lose, or the Brady haters out there, which we'll get into Tom in a little bit. But you get those teams that just match up, and like you said, like I guess you kind of said it too, which I agree with you. Like, I really don't care who wins. I just want to see a good game, and we'll get into our winners and losers and bold predictions here in a sec. But I think beforehand we should talk about one of the biggest news that hit the entire sports world and in a long time is Tom Brady retiring. And it wasn't official, and then a couple days later it's official. The king has turned in his crown. He's given it up. 22 years at NFL. Great years. You can't really ask for anything bad about Tom Brady. I know you're huge Patriots diehard. Tom Brady's been your favorite player since at last I can remember you, since you were a little 2-year-old. But let's take the time to kind of reflect on Tom Brady, how good he was this last 2 years, and a lot of people counted him out. This year in general, he almost mounted that huge comeback. If it wasn't for that Winfield Jr. Kind of blown coverage, we could be talking about the Bucs in the NFC Championship and maybe even the Super Bowl. So later I'll give you your time. Say what you want. Say what you want to talk about.
Yeah, obviously I'm devastated that he retired. You know, my favorite player of all time. I've watched so many games of him where it's just down to the wire. So many great games. Yeah. And how can someone who isn't even a fan of him not respect the games that he's been in, the amount of big stages that he's conquered, you know, like the 28-3 comeback, Super Bowl against Seattle, the 2 Giant Super Bowls, even when he lost. Like the games against the Ravens, you know, he's had so many great games, Peyton Manning rivalries, and he's always showed up. You knew you were always going to get a good game, and you could never count out Tom Brady when he was on the field. But yeah, it sucks. I really still feel like he had gas left in the tank. And
I think everyone does.
I was thinking about it last night. I mean, I wish he would have gotten to 45 because hell yeah, he could still play at 45. I mean, he's balling out. His last touchdown pass, just a dime on the best corner in the NFL, Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, devastating way to go out like that. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, he said that he wants to be 100% when he's playing football, like 100% committed. And he said, I don't know if he can give that commitment right now. He's done a lot. He's got nothing to prove. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point next year or somewhere down the line, depending on what Tom's doing in life, like if he's staying in shape, I'm sure he will. We'll see, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see him come back, you know.
He's one of those Brett Favre kind of.
He's one of those guys where football is everything to him, and Peyton Manning was one of those guys too, but Tom Brady lives, eats, and breathes this stuff. I mean, he's 44 years old, at the top of his game, arguably the best quarterback in the game, and you're going to tell me he's not at all going to have that urge to maybe come back. It's been 22 years, a long time, great career, Hall of Fame, greatest player, NFL, all time. But, I mean,
you just got to think about the grind of the NFL season. Not only 16 games from when he started to 17 games, and then every year he's in the playoffs. That's freaking, you know, you're out there getting bruised up and battered while people are resting, rehabbing. Then once you're done the Super Bowl, you get, you know, a couple weeks off and you're right back to it, and the preseason's right there and the training camp's right there. So it probably has a lot of wear and tear on him. I mean, but like you said, he spent so much money on his body and staying healthy and getting fit and surrounding himself around great people that can help him win. So it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't put it past him to just relax this off season, let the OTAs and training camp kind of wrap up. Maybe towards preseason, we get one of those calls like we saw with Brett Favre. You know, the Vikings called him after everything was done. He's like, all right, I'll come back one more season. Didn't work out well, but this is Tom Brady we're talking about, and you know, this is something I think I vouched by for a long time, or a couple years, after not liking Tom Brady for a long time, is I believe that he is the greatest athlete of all sports. Not just in NFL, of all sports. I know you could make your argument for James, Jordan, Tiger Woods. You could make an argument for everyone, but you look at what Tom Brady has done, the consistency that he's led around not only just himself as a person and persona, but he makes everyone around him better.
Right.
And he's, like you said, he's playing at the top of his game every damn game. There was never a game where you're like, oh, I can never count Tom Brady out. Yeah, he has a couple weird losses here and there, but when you have Tom Brady on your team, you can never count him out. He's never done. So
yeah, I mean, great career in New England. I remember he won 3 Super Bowls in his first 5 years in the NFL. So, and then he went 10 whole years before winning another one, you know, and even getting to the Super Bowl was hard for him. So, I mean, the back end of his career, when after everyone said he was done, you know, so many times in 2014, oh, he's done. 2013, he does not look the same. And then for him to play up until 2022 and still win Super Bowls, doing things no one's ever heard of, going to a team his first year, winning a Super Bowl at his own home stadium. For the first time he's ever gone through a wild card phase and won the Super Bowl. He went on the road every single game except for the Super Bowl. But I mean, yeah, what can you say about Tom Brady? I mean, the greatest of all time, and I'm sure he will be missed. Even those who are glad that he's out of the NFL, they're gonna miss those Tom Brady games and the way he always shows up and puts on a show for everybody.
Yeah, even for the people that don't really like him, like you said, the way he made the game so entertaining, and like I just said previously, you can never count him out. You can never count that guy out, no matter the odds. He would always show up. It was kind of,
Yeah, he's been the man since day one.
Exactly. So. He brought that, mentality of what's next. I want to win. I keep winning. And I think a lot of players in today's era are going to aspire to be that. And I saw an Instagram picture where it was Big Ben, Eli, Phillip, Brady, Breeze, and it's the end of an era. And it makes you feel a little old. I know Rodgers like the oldest, 10-year guy there. So we'll see how the NFL's fate of the QBs will be in the future. But salute to Tom and everything's done. And Big Ben for his retirement. I'm just saying, if they do go into the Hall of Fame together, it's not going to be that much about Big Ben. It's going to be exactly about all Tom Brady all night long. So kind of a weird time for Tom Brady retires, because Big Ben, kudos to his career, and he's a special player as well. But
hey, no Tom Brady. Tom Brady owned Big Ben every time they play.
When they get inducted, it's going to be Tom Brady's night. I don't care what anyone says. So, is there anything else you want to say?
Nah, man, GOAT will be missed.
Nah, I believe so too. Let's move on to
Mac Jones time.
Oh man, damn dude. Who's gonna be the quarterback for the Bucs? Jameis?
I don't know about all that. I mean,
know.
If you want a lot of turnovers since he's coming off an ACL tear, I think you have to draft a QB.
Yeah, Bruce Arians can make some things happen. Who knows? Chris Godwin will be back too. Gronk's probably will ride with Tom. Yeah,
Bucs could be one of those teams that could be rebuilding. Actually, no way. They're so young and they're so good.
I mean, they were good with Jameis and they were rebuilding. It just took Tom. So, all right, let's get into another young team and a team they rebuilt. Took them a couple years to get back to the Super Bowl. Let's talk about the Rams. Let's talk about the Bengals, who last year they lost Joe Burrow early on in the season. A lot of people counted him out. I said Jamar Chase was going to be my low-key sleeper this year. I backed out after seeing his preseason drops. Look at him now. He's one of the best players right now. Joe Burrow coming back against the Chiefs in Kansas City in Arrowhead. I mean, it looked like the Bengals were out for the count. They were outnumbered by Goliath. I mean, how did we get here? The Bengals and the damn Rams?
Yeah, the Rams. I mean, they've had a great season all year. They got playmakers on both sides of the ball. I mean, the accusation of or the acquiring of OBJ. Sorry, not accusation, but the acquiring of OBJ late in that season really helped them. Yeah, especially when Robert Woods went out with that knee injury. But I mean, the offense. I mean, OBJ is playing good football. He's
Von Miller. Don't forget they got Von Miller too.
And they got Von Miller. I know they got Von Miller because he strip sacked Tom Brady just like he did in Denver in that divisional game. And then they got Jalen Ramsey. They got Aaron Donald, probably the most. He's a game record to Aaron Donald. He's like a Lawrence Taylor. He's that kind of player. But yeah, I think this game is going to be a very good game. I think that the Rams have that capability to get out to a lead very quickly in this game. and kind of swarm Joe Burrow in that offensive line, because the offensive line is one of the worst in the NFL. Poor Joe Burrow. And
that's why they should have drafted a lineman. But
yeah, but I mean, look at Jamar Chase helped him get there.
Yeah.
But Joe Burrow, he's in that Bengals team. They've shown relentless consistency in how they compete in football games. They're always right there, and they've always battled back against great teams. I mean, we saw it against the Chiefs in the divisional game, and just in the conference championship game in Week 17. They came back and beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So not wear my Cooper Kupp jersey because I love Cooper Kupp. I hope he balls out. I hope the Rams lose and Cooper Kupp gets Super Bowl MVP. But I see Joe Burrow battling back from maybe a 2-possession, 3-possession lead, 2-possession deficit, and he comes back because I believe that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon, and then Sajman Perine, I feel like those guys can get it done. They're great players. They have a lot of chemistry together. And Joe Burrow is in his first full year starting in the NFL. He got an injury last year to his ACL. He's in the Super Bowl and he has a chance to win it. And if he wins this game, he's going to be that guy now.
Yeah.
He the youngest player. It was Patrick Mahomes, but guess what? Joe Burrow's coming through right now. Because
taking the Bengals.
I'm taking the Bengals to come back. And I'm going to say the final score is going to be 31-27, the Bengals. Joe Burrow, classic comeback.
Yeah.
He's going to lead them down, and he's going to hoist that Lombardi Trophy.
Oh wow, that's a good
Go
one.
Bengals.
Hey, I mean, let me kind of. It's weird because I don't really have a particular team I'm rooting for. I know the Bengals defense can make Matt Stafford have a couple turnovers, because we know Matt Stafford can turn the ball over. He's a gunslinger. He's going to turn the ball over here and there. We've seen him multiple times throughout the years. We saw in the 49ers game, he almost threw the game, but that's why they're cornerbacks and safeties and not wide receivers. 49ers, my streak of betting on you is done. And it seems like Jimmy Garoppolo might be done there too. But the Bengals have a good defense. They were able to make plays. They're not the most flashiest. You can't really name a lot of players. They're not, starstruck. But they can make some plays happen. Look what they did in Mahomes in the most crucial time. They had the D lineman jump up. They had a clutch defensive interception in overtime. They've been doing it all year. And this team is young. They're healthy. Their offense is explosive, which is exactly what you need for this. I kind of bit my own, I'm biting my own words right now when I said the Bengals would lose the Chiefs, because I said experience always outweighs inexperience. But I might kind of relay on that again, because the Rams, they've been here recently. Most of these players have been there. I know since then we lost Goff. They replaced with Stafford. You got Jalen Ramsey. You got the Von Miller, like you mentioned. They've added a lot of good pieces. OBJ, Van Jefferson's kind of stepping out in his own. Cooper Kupp's way more explosive than we saw a couple years ago. They got Cam Akers back finally. The run game's a lot better. This team is ready, and it's hard because I really don't care who wins. I just want to see a good game. But I'm gonna take the Rams. They're at home. They're in the Super Bowl at home. The narrative's there. The narrative's there for the Bengals too. The 6th seed upsetting, the higher seed. But I'm going to take the Rams just because they've worked so hard since the last Super Bowl to build this team to what they wanted to be. They filled in the pieces that they lost to against the Pats a couple years ago to make this team who they are. They're ready to take it. Matt Stafford can limit himself to under 2 turnovers. The Rams got this easily. 28-21 Rams. Whose house? Rams house.
Well, the Bengals, I think the key matchups in these games too are the Bengals offensive line versus Aaron Donald and Von Miller. That's going to be a key matchup. And then most importantly, one-on-one, I think it's going to be Jamar Chase versus Jalen Ramsey. That's going to be a key matchup. So depending on who wins that, honestly, I think could depend on who wins the game, and especially that offensive line. Those are the two key matchups in this game. And the Bengals got the best player in the NFL right now, and that's Shooter McPherson. And we saw him make some clutch kicks. All throughout the season, and especially last week, and
against the 1 seed too,
against the Titans too. Yeah. So if McPherson makes a clutch kick and the Bengals win this game, then I will get myself a Shooter McPherson jersey and I'll wear it on the next podcast, because how can you not love the guy, Shooter McPherson?
Okay. So you're taking the Bengals, I'm taking the Rams, just so we disagree. And the weird thing is, my buddy Todd Williams, he's a huge Rams fan. Went to college with him. I haven't been taking the Rams at all since this playoff started. I haven't taken them one time, and it's bit me in the ass every time. So I'm hoping I don't jinx them. We'll see how it goes. But taking the Rams, and let's hope it's a good game. MVP, bold prediction. I'm gonna say it's not gonna be a quarterback. It's gonna be. I'm going to say it's going to be Aaron Donald. I mean, that's not really that bold, but it's usually always quarterback friendly.
Von Miller was that Super Bowl MVP.
After that, who was it? There hasn't been one since? Like, you know?
A defensive player?
Just anyone that's not a quarterback.
Julian Edelman.
Is Julian MVP?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. So, let's just say I'll take Aaron Donald to be the next defensive player to win MVP.
That's good.
Yeah, I'll see how it goes. Do you have any bold? I guess we kind of took our bold predictions and stuff and all that. Is there anything else you want to cap off before this is our last NFL talk? Besides, I mean, it's the post game and stuff, but this is it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great season. Fantasy didn't plan out as I expected, but you know, it's okay. We'll be back next year. I'm excited for the NFL and what happens in the off season. We got the NBA heating up, and then you know we got UFC all year round. So how can you not be upset about that? Looking forward to. Izzy Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker too. That's going to be a good fight. And you know, shout out to Lauren, shout out to you, shout out to Shane, shout out to Mom, Dad, Steve, Nala, Mario, Riker, and then shout out to everybody watching this. And did I already say Shane?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, Shane, shout out to you.
Shane, stop avoiding being egged. Let's just take it like a man for coming in last place. Take it like a man. Stop running, Juggernaut. Well, it's been great. We've got a lot on our plate to kind of consume. I know the Pro Bowl and what isn't really what it used to be, but you can tune in for that too. The skills challenges are always kind of fun too. But Super Bowl's right here. It feels like we were just doing Week 1 previews yesterday. So let's see how the Super Bowl pans out.
Who's watching the Pro Bowl this weekend?
I didn't even know. I thought there was a Madden game again. I didn't know it
Was
was
it the Madden game last year?
Last year was just Madden.
Oh,
so this year it's not. But so we'll see how it goes. I mean, I might tune in because Herbert's the starter.
So is Mac Jones.
Yeah. So I know, but Herbert gets the actual first snap.
Oh yeah,
and it's the first starter to do it because Phil Rivers was always backing up Tom or Payton and stuff. So
yeah, Herbert's a baller.
So we'll see how it goes. Let's go. Bolt up. And we'll be talking to you guys about the win of the Super Bowl, and we'll be talking about the offseason. My bold prediction, I did say Rams be there. I said Rams and Chiefs. Didn't work out that way.
Close.
We'll see. We'll talk about how our offseason or our preseason stuff.
I think I said Browns Bucks, so it's better than mine.
Yeah. We'll see how everything kind of pans out. You did say OBJ be comeback player of the year. You never know. He might win that now that he's kind of balling out. I don't know if they'll include postseason. I think it's be Bosa, but we'll see.
Just saying, I called it.
I know. We'll see. Okay, guys.
Get traded.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, we all thought the Browns would be something that came last in the division. All right, guys. Well, we'll be back after the Super Bowl. Thanks for tuning in. Follow us, shout us out whenever you need us. But until next time, we out.